Okay, my friends, I'm going to make one more Honda key video. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you these three keys right here. The one on the left-hand side is one of the Honda keys that exploded or fell apart. I'll show you the trick to making your car still work, even if you have that. Don't throw away any of those parts. You can still use those. You can still start and drive your car just like normal. You know, it's kind of a mess. But again, we'll dive deeper into that in a minute. We'll talk about the valet key and what you can and cannot do with that as far as starting your car. And also, if your car is not starting after you've got the right key, I'll show you which fuse to double check and make sure it hasn't popped. So let's start over here with this key that's basically fallen apart. Step number one, don't throw any of these pieces away. Okay, all of them are very important. A good thing to note is you can actually go online, you can buy a key exactly like one of these, like a blank one, and they're relatively inexpensive, and you can basically move some of these parts that are inside here to that new key. So the electronics that open and close the doors, that piece right there, you can move that over. You can also, you'll need to get the chip out of this little clamshell piece, and I'm going to zoom in on that in just a moment here, but see that little piece right there? So that is the chip that you absolutely must have to start your car. So you can actually cut that one out and put it in a new key fob, just like this one right here. You can buy it, have the key cut, get that chip, cut it, and glue it into the inside of that clamshell, and you're good as new. Now, you can also use these parts right here to actually start your car. I'll show you what that looks like right now. Okay, so now we're in my car. There's the chip right there, right next to my thumb. That chip must be read by the reader, which is right around where the key goes in. See this little circle right here? That's the reader. This chip must be right next to that reader as we're turning the key. But we can just use those two parts and make sure that we're pretty careful that we hold the chip pretty close, and it should work for us. Let's give it a try. Okay, let's go ahead and start the car. So I'll put in this part of the key here, then I'll get my clamshell that has the reader on it. We'll go ahead, turn the key, and we'll be able to start the vehicle. And if you look at my dashboard right here, the flashing green key turned off. Yay! Now I'll show you again. Here, I'll turn it off and turn it back on without holding the chip right next to it. And look what happens. If I don't hold the chip next to it, that flashing green key comes on. So if you hold it next to it, you'll be able to start the car. Once you start the car, you do not need to hold that clamshell right next to it. Next, let's talk about the valet key. So if you have this gray valet key, this is a great key, and I think people overlook it. Look, you can still start your car, drive your car. You can lock and unlock your car, obviously manually, but you can do all that with this key right here. The only thing you can't do is lock and unlock your glove compartment. And if you have any other maybe little areas like that that can lock up inside your vehicle, you won't be able to use that key for it. And finally, let's take a look under the hood. Let's talk about fuse boxes. There's one in the sort of front left of the under the hood. There's a second fuse box in this Honda Pilot right over there, that little one. But anyway, let's go back to the main fuse box. And in here, the ACG, and then there's a space with the S, so ACGS, that one right there is the fuse that will not let your vehicle start if you pop that fuse, like if you change the battery or work on your car. This one right here, that 15 ampere in this Honda Pilot. There's a couple spare fuses up here. There's a few more spares in this vehicle as well, so you can always double check on the schematic, right on the cover, of which ones of these are spare fuses, and which one is that ACG fuse that you can double check and make sure that that has not blown. Again, if you change the battery, if you're working on your car, that's an easy one to blow. And if that one blows, then your vehicle will not start. Now be sure, if this is a 15 amp fuse, I need to make sure I put a 15 back in there. Whatever the size is, don't try to go bigger or smaller. It's got to be the same fuse. All right, my friends. Hey, I hope this video helped you out. If it did, do me a favor. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. You can check out the playlist too. I've got one under Honda Pilot tips and tricks, and there's all kinds of different videos to help you out, whether it's a Pilot or maybe you have a different type of a Honda. All right, my friends. Have a great day out there. We'll see you next time.